Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda, and please welcome to our Operation Freedom platform, WeThePeopleProcessing.com. You know, are you tired of being threatened to be canceled just because you have a company focused on liberty and freedom? Well, worry no more, folks. WeThePeopleProcessing.com is your go-to merchant services, freedom-based company to provide business service payment solutions. We the People Processing provides their clients a cancel culture-free platform which is domestically based. They provide competitive rates, no contracts with next-day funding, a fully vetted and like-minded financial infrastructure, and full support for integrations, implementation, and e-commerce efforts. Bottom line, WeThePeopleProcessing.com focuses on defending your company's free market growth, values, and future. Check them out at www.WeThePeopleProcessing.com. Once you're on the site, enter in password Operation Freedom or call 855-499-2024. That's WeThePeopleProcessing.com. Then, when on the website, enter Operation Freedom as your password or call 855-499-2024.
Mr. President-elect,
go ahead.
Can you state
She's
categorically?
asking a question.
Mr. President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You are
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a
question.
question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir.
I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to Dave versus the MSM. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. You can join us 24/7 at davejanda.com with the extra shows, extra content, extra guests, extra analysis, archives to all of our shows. You can join us live free every Sunday for our radio show. It airs out of the People's Republic of Ann Arbor from Wham Talk 1600's Freedom Bunker from 2 to 5 Eastern. Go to davejanda.com, hit the listen live button, take you to Wham Talk 1600 streaming service, hit play, you're with us. Another group of great guests, great analysis, puts you ahead of the curve. We hope you become part of our freedom family. Now, today's presentation is entitled The Government Snoop Dogs Get Hammered. You know, the radio show Operation Freedom aired for the first time at the end of October of 2010, over 11 years ago. It's interesting. When we started the show, many people thought that, it's a great show, but there's a lot of stuff here about this deep state thing and this New World Order crowd and the globalist syndicate, and I don't know about that. I don't think that show will last. Well, when you're ahead of the curve, a lot of times you take a lot of arrows, and we were well ahead of the curve. But the show has not only lasted, but it has prospered. By that, I mean we have listeners in all 50 states in over 120 countries worldwide every week. Now, one of the first topics we spoke about on the radio show that got people, that's kind of conspiratorial, is we had a guest who is a regular on our platform, Paul Rosenberg, an IT expert extraordinaire, who came on our platform 11 years ago and spoke about how the government was in your business 24/7. Phone calls, emails, texts, internet activity, financial transactions. And Paul laid it on the table and spoke about how the NSA and, listen, other federal agencies were Snoop dogging, and they had absolutely no limits, including the Constitution. Well, this was greeted with a lot of skepticism. Okay, fair enough. But over time, we saw people such as Edward Snowden and Julian Assange come forward, bring information forward that documented what Paul had been speaking about. In addition, we had several NSA whistleblowers on our platform and continue to, Bill Benny and Kirk Wiebe in particular, who, frankly, as far back as 2001, stood up became whistleblowers. Mueller, who was the director of the FBI at the time, went after them, actually broke into their homes, because they brought information forward that the NSA was doing this illegal surveillance. And then, on March 19th, 2017, General Tom McInerney, with the assistance of Admiral Ace Lyons, two American heroes, came on Operation Freedom, live show, and spoke about illegal surveillance, not just about the NSA, but in particular, they pointed their fingers directly at illegal surveillance that was perpetrated through the Central Intelligence Agency, and in particular, through the Obama administration, with Obama himself, John Brennan, his director of the CIA, James Clapper, his director of national intelligence, James Comey, his director of the FBI, with the assistance of Biden, his vice president, and the assistance of Robert Mueller, the former director of the FBI. Now, this initial information was broken earlier in March by two excellent investigative journalists, Mary Fanning and Alan Jones. And if you want to look at their work, because they've done a number of articles on this, including an article on March 17th, 2017, go AmericanReport.org. AmericanReport.org. They're there. They have it under a heading of illegal surveillance, I believe, and the name of the illegal surveillance, let's call it platform, was called The Hammer. Now, Kirk Wiebe and Bill Benny both came on this platform and spoke about how the NSA is doing one thing, but there are these parallel platforms that are also involved in illegal surveillance. And they were very well aware of them. Now, there were individuals that came forward and said, the CIA would never be involved in that. No, well, the NSA, it's all NSA. But don't look over at the CIA. Oh, no. They're because their charter says they cannot be involved in domestic affairs. Really? Oh, interesting. Because there's some significant ties back to November 1963 of a little car ride in Dallas that were involved with some people that were associated with. Yeah. So they could never be involved in domestic activities. Oh, no, that's against their charter. And these people were supposedly part of the freedom movement. We're part of the freedom movement, but the CIA would never be involved in that. And that goes to some people that were involved in the freedom movement that were independent media platform hosts. Oh, yeah. And they would bring these people. And it's interesting. A lot of the people that were saying this were associated with the CIA. So just look at the NSA. Look, the NSA has been up to its eyeballs in illegal criminal surveillance activities of not just people like Trump or General Flynn, but of millions of Americans. But it's not just the NSA. And this was pointed out by General McInerney and Admiral Lyons, also pointed out that series of articles are authored by Mary Fanning and Alan Jones. Now, when we put that interview, and it was a live interview with General McInerney, it was from the 4:30 to 5 slot on March 19th, 2017, it turns out that when a lot of the emails between Strzok and Page, remember those two beauties from the FBI, came out, they were referencing the interview that I had done with General McInerney right after the interview, like within a half hour. So obviously, this hit a nerve, okay? A big nerve. And I can tell you, the blowback that I received immediately on that segment was significant. There are two topics. Every topic I go near and talk about and go right into the middle of, I get a lot of blowback from deep state operatives, okay? But there are two topics that I have discussed in the 11 years where it was the minute the show went off the air, the garbage started, okay? One was that interview with General McInerney about illegal surveillance by our intelligence agencies, in particular with the Hammer, that was the name of it, this parallel platform. And the other is when I spoke about what happened when those 30 members of SEAL Team 6 died in that helicopter crash. Okay? Those are the two times within seconds of the show getting done that immense grief hit. Okay? So what does that tell me? It tells me that you're right over the target. I mean, right over. You're not like a half a mile away from you're right over the target. Okay? So, remember that date. March 19th, 2017, General McInerney comes on Operation Freedom. Talks about it. The first time it had been discussed on TV or radio. The articles started at the beginning of March, although it's my understanding that there were some, it was on the website and there was some, of course, cyber attack of the website where the article was, and then it was re-uploaded on the 17th of March, 2017. But it's my understanding that, and we've had Mary Fanning and Alan Jones on our platform before, that they also got a media grief. So, look, the people who brought this forward to the public, the world public, Mary Fanning, Alan Jones, General McInerney, Admiral Lyons, Kirk Wiebe, myself, I can tell you each and every one of us received, and still does, enormous heat for talking about this. So imagine my shock when it came out on February 10th, 2022. They labeled this as breaking news from the Washington Post and the ACLU that had been silent about all of this. On the same day, February 10th, 2022, breaking news, Washington Post, Senators, CIA has secret program that collects the American public's data. Almost 5 years from when this was brought forward. And if you go to the bottom of our YouTube channel, we have an illegal surveillance video series where we go through all this in great depth if you want to go back to that. But remember, the original whistleblower who developed this platform, the Hammer platform, turned over evidence to the FBI, of which Comey was the FBI director, sent his lead counsel for the FBI, James Baker, who now supposedly is talking to Durham, down to Florida to pick up the evidence from this whistleblower in 2015. And that same whistleblower was then brought to Washington about 4 months later in 2015, the end of 2015, and was interrogated under video, under oath, about this illegal surveillance that was done overseen by Obama and Brennan and Clapper and Comey and, when Biden was around, wandering around. So, and understand something. General McInerney, Admiral Lyons, Mary Fanning, Alan Jones, Kirk Wiebe, myself, a number of others, were not bashful, starting in 2017, of getting this information to many, many, many people in Washington. including senators, members of the House of Representatives, big time media people that are supposedly freedom fighters, and none of them did a thing. I even believe that this information was known by President Trump. Yet, breaking news, this is the ACLU statement, newly declassified documents reveal that the CIA has been secretly conducting massive surveillance programs that capture Americans' private information. Well, welcome to the party 5 years late. And of course, we had the breaking news headline from the Washington Post. As I mentioned, senators are now saying that the CIA has a secret program that collects American public's data. Well, Durham's been around for years. And then, didn't hear much about him saying anything. And, by the way, I have it under good authority that this information was even brought to then Attorney General William Barr. What did he do? Right, nothing. Right. So then we had this 2 days later come out. Tell me if you believe that. Have you ever heard the term limited hangout? Where they give you a portion of the truth and hopefully that'll just shut you up so you won't really look at the other stuff? Yeah. John Durham surfaces. Oh, welcome. The Clinton campaign paid to infiltrate the Trump Tower. White House servers to link Trump to Russia. Durham. Tech Executive One and his associates exploited this arrangement by mining the Executive Office of the President's DNS traffic and other data for the purpose of gathering derogatory information about Donald Trump. Brooks Singman wrote this on February 12th. Lawyers for the Clinton campaign paid a technology company to infiltrate servers belonging to Trump Tower and later the White House in order to establish an inference and narrative to bring to government agencies like Donald Trump to Russia, a filing from special counsel John Durham says. And everybody went, oh, how awful that Hillary did this. Look. Did her campaign do this? Of course, but understand, this is a limited hangout. They're trying to divert your attention to what they have done, what the deep state has decided is they're going to throw Hillary under the bus. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we're going to pin this on Hillary when, in fact, did that happen? Sure it did. That's the tip of the iceberg. The iceberg underneath the ocean is the fact that this was not just Hillary's campaign doing this. This was the CIA along with Obama and Brennan and Clapper and Comey and Biden and a number of their hench people around them that was doing this with the hammer. So they want you to bite on the apple. Oh, it's all Hillary. It's all Hillary, and it's all her and her attorneys. Yeah, okay. That's part of it, but it's not all. So the question then comes, wait a minute, whoa. Who benefits from hanging Hillary out there as the sole perpetrator, when in fact, there were a number of perpetrators? Well, they are thinking that if they hand you Hillary's scalp, let's say, and then you'll be satisfied. You won't look any further and, let's go to something else. No. Who benefits by putting Hillary out there to take the heat off of this illegal use of the hammer? By the way, the hammer was initially developed to look across the oceans at foreign terrorists to protect the homeland, the United States of America. Very effective too, by the way. Well documented. However, it's when these thugs Obama, Brennan, Clapper, Biden, Comey, Mueller got a hold of this thing. Say, hey, you know what? We can use this to look at our political opponents. You know what? Why stop there? Why don't we look at anyone that we want to around the country? Hey, why don't we do it to infiltrate businesses? I mean, hey, you know, we can make a little list with insider information by digging into their systems, right? Yeah. But who benefits from pinning all of this, putting the tail on the donkey, yeah, true, on Hillary, just on Hillary, when there are several donkeys? Obama. Because it takes the heat off of him. Because he was an integral player, and the people around Obama, in using this system. And remember, Obama, Brennan, Clapper, Biden, let's string this out. The Bushes, Romney, McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Paul Ryan. Who else can we put in there? 99% of people in D.C., include not just elected, staffs too. They're all owned and operated by the criminal syndicate. They are middle-level puppets, just like George Soros. Middle-level puppets. Top of the food chain. Well, you want the top of the food chain. You start talking about the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Pesor family. Woo, way up there, right? Very top. Those are the puppet masters. All these people that you have out there that you know their names, the Soroses and all these other cats, they're just expendable middle-level puppets. The point I'm trying to make is that you don't pin all this on the NSA. Are they thugs? You bet. But there's a whole confluence of intelligence agencies that are also criminally involved in this. And when you start seeing, and Durham has been beyond late to the party on this. I mean, here's the excuse they give. Well, you know, this is a sophisticated criminal operation. This is why it's taken so long. Stop. You want a sophisticated criminal operation? The mafia. Maybe even some of these well-known gangs around the country. Those are sophisticated criminal operations, and you can understand it. Hard to penetrate those organizations to get people to flip and give you information. These government thugs are low-level, juvenile criminals, okay, that will turn on another rat in a minute. The reason it's taken so long is not that it's a sophisticated criminal operation. It's just that the people that do the investigating are in a system that is corrupt. And they are constantly, and there are some good people that do these investigations in the system, but they are constantly undermined so they cannot do their job effectively or expeditiously, which is why it has taken Durham so long to bring this information forward, because I can tell you it's been out there, at least on this illegal surveillance by government agencies, 5 years outside of the NSA. And if you go all the way back to Kirk Wiebe and Bill Binney, since 2001 as it relates to the NSA. But they're trying to tell you this is breaking news. So look, am I trying to give a pass to Hillary? No! She's a criminal. She's a low-level criminal thug. And it's about time she get hammered for her criminal activity. But they're hoping that you're going to direct all your attention there and that you're not going to ask and look other places. Don't fall for that, because unless we expose all of this, it's never going to go away. True. What's the thing you need to do? You need to educate your friends and families and loved ones what's really going on here. Was this people are saying, well, this is comparable to Watergate. No. That was a low-level burglary that they were trying to hang some crepe on a bunch of people. That's nothing compared to this. And the cover-up is worse than the crime. It is. And the cover-up on this is it is as bad as the crime of violating people's civil liberties and rights and freedoms. But the deep state has decided Hillary's. So don't fall for just the satisfaction of watching Hillary and her thugs around her to get the tail pinned on that donkey. It's great. It ain't enough. Why isn't it enough? Because unless we get rid of the criminality across the board, it's only going to raise its ugly head again and again, and that's the last thing we need and want. I thank you for joining me today. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail. We hope you'll join us every Sunday from 2 to 5 Eastern. We hope you'll become part of our Freedom family with our subscription service. $9 a month. Try it for a month. Outstanding information that I can't even go into the depths of on this platform because of censorship. Join us. I'm serious. It's the single most effective way to get ahead of the curve is being a member of our Freedom family. We put you, not months, years ahead of the curve. Thanks for joining me today.